major crackdown has been launched in Rajasthan's Kota district after the license of a medical distributor had been cancelled in a case linked to the supply of allegedly fake oxytocin injections. The action comes amid a serious probe into 5 maternal deaths reported in government hospitals, which are suspected to be in connection to the contaminated or substandard drug supply. Authorities have intensified their investigation into Jackson Laboratories, the manufacturer of the injection, after samples failed quality and potency tests. Around 3,500 vials have already been seized from hospitals, and we're also understanding that the stockists are as part of the ongoing drive to remove the suspected batch of circulation. In fact, officials are saying that multiple regulatory lapses have been found during inspections, triggering strict action, including cancellation of license and closure of facilities linked to the supply chain. The case has also raised concerns about the national level, with global health agencies seeking details from Indian authorities. Investigations are currently underway to determine the exact cause of the maternal deaths. Let's quickly take a look at the findings that have come to the forefront. So, the Rajasthan maternal deaths, the key findings right on your screens. Number one, key fake oxytocin was supplied to government hospitals in Rajasthan's Kota. That's where it all started. Let's put out some more key findings that have been that have been found. The lab tests found zero active oxytocin content in Tocin brand oxytocin. So when we're talking about this brand in particular, there was 0% of oxytocin that was found. Number three, the injections failed to stop excessive bleeding during the C-section that was taking place. So again, those are the details. Infection happened due to bleeding, which led to the kidney being damaged and multiple organ failure in the woman. So that's how it all started. First, it could not control the bleeding. Then, different parts of the body were infected as well. Number five, the fake drug combined with high blood pressure worsened the outcomes, as we understand at this point in time. Number six, the distributor sold more doses than he purchased from the vendors. Again, a big detail this coming to the forefront as far as this case is concerned. Number seven, violations of good manufacturing practices, data manipulation has been found. So those are again some of the key details that we're tracking. Number eight, Jackson Laboratories, which is in question right now, continued production despite earlier stop orders. And this one happens to be the most glaring detail that comes to the forefront as far as this entire case is concerned. We will open up this discussion to some of our very important guests who are joining us. Dr. P.S.V. Rao, Senior Doctor, is with us on the broadcast to take this conversation forward. So thank you for your time speaking to us on NewsX. What exactly do you make of this case that is coming to light, where we're understanding that the vials did not have any percentage of oxytocin in them, and those who took these injections also had the bleeding could not stop. It led to the kidneys being affected. How do you see this?
Good morning. These kind of tragedies are happening a bit too often. This is because of poor regulation of quality control of drugs. And we are the biggest suppliers of generic drugs worldwide, and unless we get the quality control sorted out, problems sorted out with the substandard and poor quality drugs, we are in for serious trouble both with our own patients and with our exports. Bad news spreads very fast, and this kind of issues cannot be allowed. Oxytocin is important to cause the uterus to shrink, to contract and stop the bleeding. And if there is no oxytocin in that, it is obviously not going to work. Yes, the body does produce its own oxytocin, but it is often not enough. And so this is a major issue. Of course, in India, we also have the problem of malnutrition among women. Many of them are anemic. They don't have enough blood to begin with. And if you have excess bleeding going on, they will obviously have multi-organ failure and have these raised maternal mortality rates. There are certain states in India which have higher than average maternal mortality rate, and it is high time the health authorities and the regulatory authorities look into the various causes, which includes infection, excess bleeding, malnutrition. These are all the various problems for which the maternal deaths. We can't be just taking these things casually. We have to take it very seriously. There are other issues also involved which can lead to higher maternal mortality rate. And if we want a Viksit Bharat, first of all, we need to sort out these maternal mortality rates. And we are now talking about certain states having lower birth rates, and we have started, some people have even started worrying about the population shrinkage. But first, fix the problem of people who are actually trying to have more children. Right. And without that, this is going to keep getting worse. Yes, please.
Dr. Rao, your perspectives on the fact that we have an understanding that there's 0% oxytocin in those injections, but we don't know what is the other substance, what makes it spurious by nature. I want to understand from you, if such an injection is given, does that impact the well-being of the baby as well? What kind of impact can it have?
Basically, oxytocin is used either to induce the delivery, because it basically the oxytocin's function is to cause the womb, the uterus, which is the womb, to contract. So when it contracts, it will push the baby out. More important, it will cause the placenta to separate and the bleeding to stop. Now, if you have a situation where there is no oxytocin, and the malnourished lady doesn't even produce enough oxytocin of her own, which is the normal physiological release of oxytocin, then you will have a situation where the lady will bleed, because the baby has come out, the placenta has separated from the womb, and the womb has got a huge raw wound which is going to keep bleeding profusely, and the womb is very well vascularized. That means there is a huge blood supply to the womb to be able to manage the baby. And because the baby has to be nourished, baby has to be in the womb, has to be grown. So there is a massive blood supply to the uterus when it is pregnant. And this oxytocin helps contract that, so that the wound inside where the placenta, which is the supply to the baby, has separated. So only by contraction, by shrinkage, can those blood vessels be closed and the bleeding stopped. So if there is no oxytocin in what they are giving, then it is tragic. And I only hope there is no other toxic or spurious substance instead of oxytocin in those fluids. But according to the tests that have come out till now, there is no oxytocin in those things. So this is why oxytocin is important. Normal women, pregnant women, do release oxytocin from their own production, but giving extra oxytocin by injection helps the womb contract and stop the bleeding. Otherwise, the lady will keep bleeding. It's called postpartum hemorrhage. And you mentioned blood pressure. Yes, you can have what is high blood pressure during pregnancy, and then that can also make the bleeding worse. So if the lady, it's called eclampsia, if the lady has got hypertension, high blood pressure during pregnancy, that will make the bleeding worse. So this is all important. And if these are malnourished women, I'm sure these are all malnourished women landing up in the government hospitals of Rajasthan. If they hardly have the extra blood required to survive. So if there is such excessive blood loss, they are going to have the blood supply to all their vital organs shut down. They will fail, and then that's how you get these deaths. This needs to be thoroughly investigated and the causes sorted out.
Right, sir.
Rajasthan needs to reduce its maternal mortality rate, and many other states also.
You're absolutely right, sir. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing your perspectives. with us on this big story.